this is Miss Andrea, and this is not another homeschool vlog. This past weekend, I did a live stream video, and I pretty much talked about what was wrong with schools and how we could fix that for our individual children. And the crux of that is to basically make the subject matter relevant to our kids so that they are more inclined to learn, because that is not what schools are doing. Schools aren't inspiring them to learn. They're just kind of shoving information at them. So basically what we have to do is we have to stop telling them what to think. They've been trying it for years, and what happens is it fails. The kids don't really want to hear what the generation before them thinks, and they certainly don't want to copy our patterns and do things the way they did it. What generally happens is they do the opposite, which is why from generation to generation you see such extremes in the way people think. We need to make them curious. You have to spark inspiration with children. It has to be something that comes from inside of them and not outside of them if you truly want to engage them in their learning. This is a word that I love, and when someone first explained this word to me, it was in the early days of our homeschooling, and it really resonated with me because I realized that I am an autodidact. An autodidact is a self-educated person that pretty much learns without the help of any instructors, any teachers, any books, any curriculum. They just get an idea in their head and they say, hey, I want to learn this. And in the age of YouTube or the internet, all of us have a little bit of autodidact in us, because anything we want to know, we know how to find it. An autodidact does this constantly. Any idea they get in their head, they want to explore it. Or, they'll have 2 or 3 things that they really enjoy and are fixated on, and they just study those things in depth. An autodidact is not just curious, but they have a compulsion to satisfy that curiosity. Which brings up unschooling. I've made several videos on unschooling over the years, and my opinion changes on unschooling just a little every time I meet a new unschooling family. Unschooling is scary to me because it says, don't worry about books, don't worry about curriculum. Let the child learn what they're going to learn. Let them lead it. And if they ask you for resources, then you get them. There are some things I really love about unschooling. And I know some families who have really made unschooling work. But at some point, I want to see teenagers switch to a more directed form of learning, a more led form of learning. Because at a certain point in our lives, we have to go out into the world, and people are going to want to teach us things. And we can't say, I'm not interested in that. I want to learn this thing over here. Well, they're not paying you for this thing over here. They're paying you for the thing they're trying to teach you. And you need to start learning to absorb information pretty much on demand. So what I like to do then is pivot. And we all know about the pivot, right? The last year was all about the pivot. People took whatever they were doing and they adjusted it ever so to work in this life of lockdown and quarantine, and to make things still work for them. The pivot in this case is to know what the child is interested in and apply it to all the other subjects. Today, I spent much of the day in the park. If my eyes are red, it's because I was in a pollen-filled park. And we were working on Shakespeare, Julius Caesar, to be exact. And the reason that we're working on this is because it's our end project. In an effort to make these ancient times relevant, we used something that we knew that the majority of our students love to do, and that is to act. My homeschool program seems to have attracted a lot of children who really enjoy theater. So why not use theater to solidify what is being taught to them? In doing this, we not only brought the fall of Rome to life, but we showed the kids their own capacity for memorization that they can now apply to other subjects, because we have some kids who had never been on the stage before. 75% of our students are actors at one level or another, and the other 25% are new to the stage, and they didn't think that they could memorize lines, and here they are memorizing more than they ever thought they could. And so now they're not only saying, oh no, I know the subject matter, oh, I can memorize and perform on the stage, but they're saying, I can memorize? You see this approach to teaching children based on what they're interested in something that we call unit studies. Unit studies is a unit or theme that refers to the idea of studying a single topic as a whole instead of several disjointed subjects. A unit study approach takes a topic, pretty much any topic, and lives with it for a period of time, integrating science and social studies and language arts and sometimes math and fine art. The history curriculum that I am actively writing at this moment is centered around history, of course, but I have intertwined language arts throughout it, and I'm also adding science and art and of course theater and math where I can fit it in, but I always recommend that math be a standalone subject because everyone does math at a different pace. At the end of the day, you have to learn to speak your students' language. It doesn't matter if they're homeschooled. It doesn't matter if they're in traditional school. If they're stuck on a topic, you need to be able to look at it and speak to them in a language that they understand. If you're doing math and they like race cars, then you can do some speed things. Like they would be so into speed-based equations, right? If they like baking, you can teach fractions so easily, with measuring cups. It doesn't matter what they enjoy. You just lob onto that topic. Get familiar with it yourself so that when you're trying to impart knowledge to a child, you can speak in their language and make that subject matter become relevant to them. So that is all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am newly monetized, and it's time to grow. So like, share, absolutely share, and subscribe to my channel, and leave comments if there are topics that you would like me to discuss, because I will always make a video based on comments left in the comment section. So that is all I have for today. Until next time.